Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. In today's video, I'm going to show you the succulents that are growing in full morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours with indirect afternoon sunlight versus the succulent that is only growing in indirect bright light throughout the day. So let me quickly show you the ones that are in full morning sunlight for 5 to 6 hours. Now these are the 3 pots that are in morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours, after which they are in indirect bright light throughout the day. So the afternoon sunlight is something that tends to fall on them indirectly. There is no direct afternoon sunlight. It's only the morning sunlight for 5 to 6 hours directly on the succulent. So you can see the succulent. Now these succulents are getting into their dormant period because these are Graptoveria marpin. But this is what I wanted to show you. Now I will put the name on the screen, or I'll put the information on the screen because I won't be able to point them out. So the left one is Graptoveria marpin in full morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours with indirect afternoon sunlight. Whereas the marpin in this pot, because if you remember, these were the cuttings that I had put in and I haven't exposed them to any morning direct sunlight. They are only in indirect bright light throughout the day. But you can see the major difference between both the varieties. Even though they are the same succulents, but you can see the major difference in colors and formation of the leaves, because it gets a good amount of morning direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours, and it's slightly warm because there's too much of direct sunlight. So you can see the crown area is slightly closing inwards. The leaves near the crown area are slightly closing inwards, apart from the heat as well as because of the dormancy. But over here you can see the leaves are a little bit more open because it doesn't get affected with direct sunlight, but it will also tend to go dormant. But as of now, you can see the crown area leaves are much open compared to the one wherein it receives direct sunlight. So you can see how much of difference the light can do to the succulents. Both the succulents in same place, but with different form of light. There's another variety as well. Now this one is Graptoveria titubans. You can see it is kept in indirect bright light throughout the day. It is just starting to grow, and here I have Graptoveria titubans. You can see the major difference between both the varieties. You can see the major difference. A direct sunlight 5 to 6 hours with indirect afternoon sunlight and only indirect bright light, and you can see the major difference between both the varieties. Now it was slightly damaged because it was raining and I was using a plastic sheet and it had a stick, and there was so much of breeze that the stick fell onto the succulent and it damaged one of the leaf. This is what I really don't like about the wind, because it's so strong at times, and a small little drop and you can see it has completely damaged the leaf. Now just because of that one little damage, it has completely destroyed the look of the succulent, but nevertheless it still looks good. A small little scar won't affect it much, but again, if it was looking extremely beautiful earlier, but that slight scar has damaged the overall look of the succulent. But you can see the amount of major difference between direct sunlight for 5 to 6 hours, whereas indirect bright light throughout the day. So this is how light plays a very important role on the appearance of your succulent, on the appearance, on the color, on the formation of leaves, everything. So that's all about this video. I just wanted to give you a quick video on this, because every time I keep talking about this, that you can grow your succulents in indirect bright light as well, but the colors will not be very intense, and that is the example that you can see over here. The colors are not very intense. This is more on the blue. Even this one does not have a lot of color compared to the one that is in morning direct sunlight. So this is how it tends to balance. But again, the colors are still present on the succulent that is kept in indirect bright light as well. It still looks absolutely beautiful. The only thing is that the succulent will not stretch when it is kept in indirect bright light, because a lot of people think that if you're going to keep your succulent in indirect bright light, there will be a stretch. Now you can see these all are very compact, even though they are kept in indirect bright light. but you have to ensure that the indirect bright light is throughout the day. It's not like it's going to be there for like couple of hours. For direct sunlight, we usually prefer 5 to 6 hours. That's more than enough. But you cannot expect to keep a succulent in indirect bright light for like 2 or 3 hours or 4 or 5 hours. That's not going to work out. The succulent will start showing slight signs of stretching. The bright light, the indirect bright light, has to be throughout the day. For example, this pot is kept in a position wherein it receives indirect bright light from the time the sun rises until the sun sets. So that's all about this video. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep propagating.